Welcome everyone. In this video we're going to be setting up a TensorFlow model server. We'll be doing the CPU version and the Docker method for installation. And this will also be done in Fedora Linux, Fedora 39, and we'll be using the REST API for this setup. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we need to do is install Docker. So let's begin with dnf-y install. And this will be DNF plugins core, and I'm logged into the server as root. So it looks like we're already set up there. So let's go ahead and set up the Docker repo or repository. So we'll do a DNF config manager add repo, and then the URL for the location. So this will be https://download.docker.com and Linux/Fedora and docker-ce.repo. Hit enter. All right, so the repo's been added, or the repository's been added. So now let's go ahead and install Docker itself. So DNF install docker-ce docker-ce-cli containerd.io docker-buildx-plugin and docker-compose-plugin. Enter. And we'll hit Y at the prompt, hit yes for the key, and complete. All right, now that Docker's installed, we can start it. So we'll do a system control, start, and Docker. All right, so let's do a status on Docker, just to show that it's running. And yes, active running, so good. All right, so our next step will be to install Git. So let's do a DNF git or DNF install git, git, enter. So let's move on to downloading the TensorFlow model server container that will be running in Docker. So that will be docker pull TensorFlow /serving, enter, and unless specified, it'll download the latest version. All right, and the final step for this is to clone GitHub TensorFlow serving. So we'll do a git clone https://github.com/TensorFlow/serving. Enter. Okay, now that that's installed, our next step is to create a directory called models at root. So let's do or at the root level, let's do a make directory, and we'll do a /model. Enter. Let's do an ls. Oops. pwd. Okay. And there it is there. Now we need to create a folder underneath the folder we just created. So let's do a make directory models, and we'll name the new folder ½+2, enter. And we'll do an ls on models. And there's our new directory, our new folder. So ½+2 is the name of the model that is provided by the model server setup, and we will just use this in this session to show that our model is functioning properly. So we'll continue on. All right, our next step is to set the path to our test data. So this will be test data equals quote /root /serving /TensorFlow serving servables, TensorFlow, and test data. And then closed quote, enter. And I believe we're all set. Let's go ahead and start up our Docker container that's running the model server. So let's start out with Docker run -t -rm-p, and this will be our port, our REST API port, -v quote $, test data / saved model F+2 CPU. We're using the CPU version because on this system I don't have a GPU, so I have no choice but to use the CPU option. So let's see, and we'll do a colon, and then the path to the folders we created a couple minutes ago, So models and F+2 and closed quote. We'll do a -e, and the next entry will be model name equals F+2, and then the last entry will be TensorFlow serving, and we will run that in the background. So let's go ahead and enter to see if we've successfully configured our model server. And yes, we're running on 8501. We'll hit enter. We should come back to a prompt since we're running in the background. Let's do a netstat just for the heck of it. And we can go up here, and it shows that our port is running, or our model server is running. It's listening on that port we configured it for, so that's good. Let's do a clear. Now our next step is to run a test against the model server, against the model that it's serving. So let's do a curl -d. We'll have a single quote, a brace, quote, or double quote, instances, closed quote, colon, space, and we'll have a bracket, put in 1.0, comma, 2.0, comma, 5.0, and we'll have a closed bracket, and then the closed brace, and then the closed single quote. Next we'll put in -X, and post, all caps, and this will be the path to our model, or URL to the model that we're going to run this against. So this will be localhost, since at this point we're running everything on the same machine, E501, and this is version 1 of the model. And models F+2 colon and predict. Let's see, everything looks correct. So when we run this, we should get output that looks like this. If we get that, then we know if we've successfully configured our model server. So let's go ahead and hit enter, and there you go. 2.5, 3.0, 4.5. So we've successfully set up our model server, and that's pretty much it for this. Again, in our next video, we're going to show how to import our own custom model and serve that with the model server, and then access it over the network using the REST API. All right, thank you for watching. If you like my videos, please click the like button, and also please subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Thank you.